It was supposed to be an ordinary day at the beach. The sky was clear, the sun was strong, and the warmth made the gentle breeze even more pleasant. The perfect setting for someone who simply wanted to escape the hectic routine and find some peace by the sea. But what I didn't know, what no one there knew, was that this simple day of rest would completely change the course of my life. How could I have imagined that my life, for a few moments, would be about to intersect with the world of one of the most famous women on the planet? My mind's camera began to record everything with growing enthusiasm: the beach, the gentle waves crashing against the rocks, the palm trees swaying in the breeze. Everything seemed like a perfect scene, like those we see in movies. But then something or someone shattered the calm and brought a new level of intensity. That's when I saw her. In the background, a silhouette stood out against the sunlight. Her walk was graceful, almost as if time had slowed to allow each step to be noticed. And I, unable to look away, realized that that face was not unfamiliar. To me, the figure approaching with serene confidence was closer to a myth than a real person. It was her. Jessica Alba, with a slender body and a captivating smile. Wearing a swimsuit that, though simple, exuded an elegance that contrasted with the casual beach surroundings. The outfit was modern, bold, and yet had a touch of lightness. It didn't seem overdone, but reflected the natural beauty of someone who had the ability to be simultaneously stunning and approachable. Everyone around couldn't help but stare, some with a mixture of admiration and disbelief, as if she were a goddess from another universe. The impact of seeing her in person was a shock to the senses. Imagine being so close to a Hollywood celebrity, a woman who went from a movie icon to a globally recognized symbol of fashion and beauty. The expectations we built up from watching her interviews and media posts were suddenly confronted by the reality of seeing her here in the flesh, with her spontaneous, unpretentious manner. What was supposed to be a simple day at the beach instantly became an unforgettable experience. However, as I tried to grasp the magnitude of the moment, I noticed something even more curious. Jessica Alba, despite all her fame and the stares of everyone around her, didn't behave like the star people imagine. She walked with impressive ease, unhurried, in no rush to be anything more than what she truly was at that moment, a person enjoying a sunny day like any other. This contrast between what she represented to the world and the simplicity with which she presented herself on that beach was a true revelation. While the others continued to whisper and watch from afar, she seemed at peace with herself, as if the simple act of walking on the sand was enough to experience true freedom. And there, in that moment of pure connection between reality and expectation, I began to question what it truly means to be free. To what extent are appearances and fame capable of transforming the essence of who we are? I didn't know it yet, but that encounter was about to reveal much more about Jessica Alba and, more importantly, about myself. As the breeze continued to caress our faces and the ocean water reflected the sun's glow, I found myself in a spontaneous conversation with her. Jessica Alba, one of Hollywood's brightest stars, was there beside me, as if the world around us had shrunk to just that moment. There were no cameras, no security team, no press. It was just her and me sharing something many would never have. The opportunity to experience. The conversation began simply, like an exchange of pleasantries between two strangers. She asked me what I did for a living, and I, not wanting to seem like an obsessed fan, simply answered honestly. What happened? Next was a clash of realities. Jessica, with a genuine smile, began sharing her own experiences. I talked about my work, how I deal with the pressures of everyday life, and with surprising ease, she told me about the challenges of being constantly observed, of not being able to have an ordinary day, of being constantly pressured by society to be perfect. She wasn't just the actress I saw on screen, but a woman who felt the same frustrations, who also yearned to be just human. I realized that behind the movie star facade lay an ordinary person with insecurities, dreams, and challenges, just like anyone else. Jessica wasn't there to impress anyone or to meet the expectations of those around her. She was simply living, enjoying the present, and that made her even more fascinating. The conversation flowed naturally, as if fame weren't a factor in our interactions. She talked about her professional choices, her worldview, and her constant search for a balance between her career and personal life. I was surprised to discover that she cared deeply about issues we often overlook: sustainability, people's mental health, and how the pressures of fame can affect even the strongest individuals. We talked about the challenges we face in maintaining our identity in a world that constantly tries to mold us into standards and expectations. She didn't speak with the arrogance many imagine, but with genuine wisdom. The result of her personal and professional journey, suddenly the reality of being with a celebrity began to fade. The movie star was replaced by a woman anyone could relate to. She was just someone searching for connection, authenticity, simple, real moments. And there, in that paradisiacal setting, the concept of fame, icons, and perfection began to lose its value. The true essence of humanity was right there, in a sincere conversation, in a shared moment of tranquility on an afternoon at the beach. Without the glare of cameras and the expectations imposed by society, this unique experience made me reflect on how easy it is to idealize people when we see them from afar, but how liberating and enriching it is when we can see them as they truly are without the Hollywood cloak. Jessica Alba in that moment made me question everything I knew about fame and authenticity. The experience wasn't about her being a famous actress, but about her being a person with all that entails. The sun was beginning to set, tinting the sky with warm hues of orange and pink as Jessica and I walked along the beach. The tranquility of the scene was almost surreal, as if time had slowed down so we could soak in every second. The water glistened softly in the afternoon light, and the sound of the waves crashing against the rocks seemed like a peaceful melody, accompanying our conversation. It was one of those moments that makes us slow down and reflect on what truly matters in life. As we walked, the conversation continued lightly, but Jessica's words began to take on a different weight. She talked about how, over the years, she'd learned to appreciate the simple things. A leisurely morning, a lunch with friends, a sunny afternoon by the sea. I think the secret to life is knowing how to enjoy the simple moments and, most importantly, being true to yourself, she said, her expression calm and genuine. That resonated deeply within me. How many times in life do we get lost in the pursuit of what we think is success, without truly stopping to appreciate the little things that make the journey worthwhile? It was almost as if she were teaching me, in that moment, something I had never truly understood. True freedom comes from letting go. From letting go of the expectations society places on us, from letting go of trying to please others, from letting go even of our own perfection. And yet, as she spoke, I couldn't help but think that, as much as she was teaching something fundamental, she herself was practicing this philosophy in her daily life. Jessica Alba, one of the most admired women in the world, was there sharing her greatest secret of all, simplicity. The contrast between the glamour surrounding her and the serenity with which she approached life was a lesson in true happiness. All she needed at that moment was that little piece of beach, that vast sky, and the freedom to be who she truly was. It wasn't about Hollywood anymore. It wasn't about being Jessica Alba for the world anymore. It was about being Jessica Alba for herself. I realized that in some way we should all do the same, seek our true essence while simultaneously letting go of external pressures. As the sky grew darker and the last light of day faded, we both stopped to gaze at the horizon. I now with a new perspective on what truly makes life worthwhile, and she with her serene gaze as if the world around us weren't as important as the moment we were living. Jessica wasn't there to impress anyone. She was there to live, to experience, and to be grateful for the simplicity. She made me understand more than ever that true happiness is found in the little things, and that, as much as life may offer U.S. moments of brilliance and fame, it is in authenticity and the simple pleasure of being alive that the greatest treasure lies. The day, which began as a simple escape from routine, ended up being a journey of self-discovery. The beach, the sun, the conversation with Jessica Alba, it all became something much bigger than a story about a chance encounter with a celebrity. That afternoon taught me a profound lesson about life, about values, and about the importance of not losing our essence amidst the chaos of the outside world.